Now let's take out the white yarn to make the cream on the cake. First, to make a matte cream, wrap the yarn around your little finger, then bring it to your index finger. Make a loop around your middle finger. Pinch the yarn with your thumb and your middle finger. Insert a hook into loop on your middle finger. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Now we need to work 5 double crochet cluster in this loop. First, work 3 chains as the start of the double crochet. 1, 2, 3. 3 chains are done. Yarn around the hook. Insert a hook into the loop on your middle finger. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn around the hook and pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. The first incomplete double crochet is done. Now there are 2 loops on the hook. The second incomplete double crochet. Yarn around the hook. Insert a hook into the loop on your middle finger. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Yarn around the hook and pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. The second incomplete double crochet is done. Now there are 3 loops on the hook. The third incomplete double crochet. Yarn around the hook. Insert a hook into the loop on your middle finger. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. You can pull the loop slightly larger, like this. Yarn around the hook and pull the yarn to the first 2 loops on the hook. The third incomplete double crochet is done. The fourth incomplete double crochet. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. The fourth incomplete double crochet is done. The fifth incomplete double crochet. Insert a hook into the loop on your middle finger. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. Put the loop slightly larger. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. The 5th incomplete double crochet is done. Now there are 6 loops on the hook. Yarn around the hook. Put the yarn through the 6 loops at the same time. Five double crochets cluster is done. Now work 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. The first set is done. We can remove it from middle finger. Put a yarn tail. The second set we need to work 5 double crochet cluster. Insert a hook into here near the first chain. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn around the hook and put yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. The first incomplete double crochet is done. The second one. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. The third one. The fourth one. The 5th one. Five incomplete double crochets are done. Now there are 6 loops on the hook. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn through 6 loops at the same time. Organize it. The second 5 double crochet cluster is done. Work 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. 3 chains are done. Then work 5 incomplete double crochets, yarn around the hook. Insert a hook into this loop. Hook the yarn and pull up a loop. There are 3 loops on the hook. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn to the first 2 loops on the hook. The first incomplete double crochet is done. Yarn around the hook. The second incomplete double crochet is done. The third incomplete double crochet. Put the loop slightly larger. The fourth incomplete double crochet. The 5 incomplete double crochet. Put the loop slightly larger. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn to the first 2 loops on the hook. 5 incomplete double crochets are done. Now there are 6 loops on the hook. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn to 6 loops at the same time. Continue work 3 chains. Then work 5 incomplete double crochets. The first incomplete double crochet is done. The second one. Pull the loop slightly larger. The third one. The fourth one. The fifth one. Pull the loop slightly larger. 5 incomplete double crochets are done. Yarn around the hook. Put the yarn through 6 loops at the same time. Work 3 chains. Then work 5 incomplete double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the loop slightly larger. 5 incomplete double crochets are done. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn through 6 loops at the same time. Then work 3 chains. Work 5 incomplete double crochets. Five incomplete double crochets are done. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn to 6 loops at the same time. Work 3 chains. Then work 5 incomplete double crochets. Continue to work the remaining sets in the same way. Take out a cake body to measure the length. We need to make one more. You can adjust according to your own situation. You can decide to crochet more or remove a couple of stitches. Here I need to make one more. First work 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. And then work 5 incomplete double crochets. Five incomplete double crochets are done. Yarn around the hook and put the yarn to 6 loops at the same time. Work a chain. Pull the loop larger. Leave long yarn tail, because we need it to sew the cream to the cake body. Pull out the yarn tail. The cream is done. Now let's assemble. First, assemble the candle. Insert a needle into a stitch between round 1 and 2. Fix one side of the line yarn here. Fix the yarn tail in the cake body. Wrap the line yarn around the candle body. Then glue it to the candle body. Now head the other yarn tail in the candle body. Sew the candle to the center on top of the cake body. Use pins to fix it. Pass the needle through the cake body. Then pass it through the candle. Hide a yard towel in the candle. Now set the fire to the top of the candle. This is the front side. This is the back side. The side should face the front. Like this. Connect the bottom of the fire to the candle. You can adjust the position while sewing. The fire should stand upright. Hide the yard towel. Put the yard towel hard. Now let's add cream to the cake body. First adjust the cream. Make them have an arc, like this. We start from the slip stitch here. We need to cover the front loops. Insert needle to the middle of the cream. Then pass it through the front loop of the cake body. Then insert needle to the suitable front loop and pass it through the cream. Then insert needle into the middle of the cream. Make sure the middle of the cream is sewed on the front loops. Insert needle into the last chain. Then pass it through the first front loop. The cream is sewed to the cake body. Hide the yarn tail. Hide the other yarn tail in the same way. Now let's make the mouse using a 3-strand black yarn. The mouse is one round under the eyes. The eyes are in round 11, so the mouse should be in round 12. It takes about 3 stitches. Insert needle from the bottom. Adjust it. Tie a knot with 2 yarn tails. Apply some glue and glue the mouth. Put the strawberries on the cake evenly. Take out the green yarn. Use pins to fix the strawberries. Now sew the strawberries to the cake body. Tie a knot with 2 yarn tails. We only need to sew the strawberries leaves to the cake body. The first strawberry is done. Don't cut off the yarn. Pass the needle through the cake body to the second strawberry. Continue to sew the other strawberries in the same way. Hide the yarn tail. Now let's sew the legs. The legs should be sewed under these front loops. The legs should be about 1 stitch apart from the eye. Like this. 1 stitch apart. This side is the same. And there should be about 7 stitches between the legs. You can adjust according to your own situation. Just make them symmetrical. Insert a needle into the stitch under this front loop. Then pass the needle through the next stitch on the leg. Then pass it through the cake body. Hide the yarn tail. Pull the yarn tail hard. The cake is finished.